Stampers, this is Trevis. Welcome to Video Friday. So today we are going to be making a pull slider card. And this card is something we made at my clubs this month. And they loved it. And I thought, well, let's make a video with some measurements so they can reproduce this as much as they want. I hope you want to make it too. So I am going to be using some of the designer series paper, the Hostess pack of designer series paper. It's called Pattern Party. It's in the back of the catalog with the Hostess items. And it's a 12 by 12 and it's a huge pack of paper. And if you have a $150 order, or want to host a party, you can get that as one of your items. So I am going to start stamping and we'll be talking about different products I'm going to be using today. Okay, so one main thing that you're going to need is your paper trimmer. Our paper trimmer is awesome, right? It has the scoring blade and the cutting blade. The gray one is the scoring blade. The black one is the cutting blade. We've been through this, but you're definitely going to need some way to score and cut today. So this is this designer series paper that I chose. This is the colored side. We're not going to use it. We are going to use this side. And interestingly enough, this coordinates with an awesome stamp set called Art in Bloom. And so we're going to be using this big stamp here. And as you can see, this is just miniature of that. So how cool is that? It also has great sayings. I am going to be using a different saying set today, which is called Biggest Wish. This is perfect for birthdays, just thank you cards, hello cards. You know, you can say thinking of you and just say hello. So I love this stamp set. This is a photopolymer set. Okay, we're also going to be using birds and branches. So this is a stamp set that's in the annual catalog. I'm going to be using the bird from this stamp set. Okay, okie dokie, let's get started. So I chose Highland Heather cardstock as my cardstock base. And this is just 5.5 by 8.5. And this is going to make the pocket of your slider card. So I'm going to show you how to do that. The first thing you want to do is use your scoring blade, okay? And you are going to score this twice. The first score is at 1/2 an inch. Okay, so you're going to just score that. And then you're going to push it along to 4.5, and you're going to score it again. Okay, so your card is scored now, and you are ready to start working on it. The cut is going to come later. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just fold on these score lines, just like that. And when you're making a fun fold card, you definitely want to make sure that that's nice and creased. Use your bone folder. Make sure it's nice and creased. Okay, now we are going to adhere. I know it sounds weird, but we are going to go ahead and we are going to adhere this to our cardstock base. Use my adhesive. I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal. There's no right or wrong way to put this because the flowers are going every which way, right? I'm going to adhere this. Okay, so what we have now is, you're thinking it's either going to open like this, but this is not going to open. This is going to actually make a pocket. So the next thing we want to do is we want to make a notch up here at the top. And I'm going to use a retired punch. Okay, this is a 1-inch circle punch. If you have this punch, don't ever get rid of it. It's awesome. If you don't have a 1-inch punch, you might have a circle. You do, if you have the layering circles, you do have a small circle. You could use that. You could really use any kind of a punch would work, but I just like the way this looks. If you have an oval, okay. So what I'm going to do first is center this. I'm going to go down about maybe halfway in the circle, and I am going to punch. Okay, now I'm going to bring this back. Since I'm punching through 2 sheets, I want to bring this back now, and I'm going to punch the 3rd piece. Okay, you don't want to punch through 3 pieces at once. It's not good for your punch, so just do it that way. Okay, Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put some adhesive on here. And the adhesive that I chose today, I'm looking for it. Here it is. It's the tear and tape. I have one here that's almost empty. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this and get this ready. So I'm going to put a strip of this down. You want something strong, okay? So if you have, maybe you have the old pink adhesive, or you can even use Stampin' Seal Plus, but you don't want to put that on yet if you're using Stampin' Seal Plus, because this is going to be peeled off later, okay? Now, let's do the inside of our card. So I have a piece of white cardstock. This is 5 by 3 3/4, and now I'm just going to stamp my images on it. And since I used Highland Heather, I am going to use Highland Heather ink, and I'm also going to use the next darker color, which is Gorgeous Grape. So I have two colors here, and I'm going to go ahead and use the Happy Birthday. So I'm going to make this a birthday card. So I'm going to stamp Happy first. And I'm going to have a little area here where that circle is going to show, so I want to go down a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go down about here. Okay, and then I'm going to, Gorgeous Grape is next, so I'm going to ink up Birthday. Put them both on the same block, which is totally cool, right? So I have Happy Birthday, and now I want to stamp some of these flowers from the Art in Bloom set. So I have those mounted on a big block, and we have all three on one stamp, which is so cool. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp that on here. Like that. Okay, and then I'm going to use a sponge dauber, and I'm going to bring in a little color just to the center of those. So I'm going to just go in the center a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. Okay, so I think I have that stamped enough now. All right, the next thing, we want to put that inside of our card. Before we do, we want to make that cut I was telling you about. And so we are going to bring in, back in our paper trimmer, okay? Turn it your way. Open this up. I don't think I need to open that. I don't think you need to open it. Let's just go with it like this. Okay, so we have our paper trimmer. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually turn the card upside down, okay? And we're going to put it in at, it's upside down, so it's like the opposite of normally the way I would cut. Okay, let me get this right. So I'm going to go in at, I'm going to put my paper at 1 3/4, okay? And I'm going to hold this up until I get my cutting blade where I want it. I don't want to cut from the very top. I actually want to cut a slit. So I'm going to hold that up, and I'm going to start cutting at 1 inch all the way down to 4 1/2. Okay, and then you're going to go back and forth until you've cut through, you made sure that you cut through not only the designer series paper, but also the card base. So you have that nice solid cut, okay? Now we want to take a small piece of cardstock. This is just white cardstock. It's 3/4 by 3 1/4, okay? Don't want it any longer than that, and you really don't want it any wider than that, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're going to actually slide this in, okay, and we're going to flip it over, and we're going to make sure that it doesn't go past this crease, okay? So just shy of that crease. So the piece that's sticking out right here, we're going to put a dimensional on that, okay? So we're going to put a dimensional right there, okay? Might cut that down just a smidge. Don't think I need it quite that long. Okay. All right. So now what's happened is this is in the back. This is going to be the inside of your card. Okay. So you're going to put your adhesive on this piece. Okay. So take your adhesive and put a nice strip of adhesive on there. Then take your piece of inside cardstock and you're going to flip it over, right? Because you want this as the back and this is the side that's going to show. You're going to place it all the way at the top, leaving those edges, and then press. Okay, it's going to wobble around a little bit for now. Don't freak out about that, because once you close this, then you're going to see it's not going to wobble anymore. So we're going to take off the backing of the tear and tape. I'm going to flip that in, and we're going to close the card right on that. Okay. Now we want to put something on here so that when you pull the card, something moves. That comes into the slider, right? So when you pull, it's going to slide. So what I did was I took the bird from Birds and Branches. Okay, and there's 2 birds in here, and they're 2 steps. Okay, and I did stamp this one. I stamped a bluebird in Misty Moonlight. So I stamped the background first, and then I stamped it off, stamped it, and then I did the inside, and then I did that in Misty Moonlight, and so I got a light and dark bird. Okay, so that is going to be my pull. All right, so I'm going to pull this off, put my bird. I'm actually going to do it this way because I want to make it look a little bit like the bird is flying upward. Okay, and then I need a pull. So another retired item, and I don't know if you have one, but if you do, this is a 1/4 inch handheld punch. We carried these for many years. We no longer carry them. You're going to punch a little hole and then put some kind of a ribbon or a string or something in there. And I chose the Highland Heather 1/2 inch grosgrain ribbon. This is gorgeous ribbon. It has a little sparkle to it. So I'm just going to feed that through that little hole like that. And then I'm going to tie a knot. I don't know if I really need a knot. I think I might just do a once. So now what you have is something to pull. Put that down a little bit. Okay. Now I am going to put a little bit of Wink of Stella on my bluebird. I'm just going to use a little bit of Wink of Stella, give it a little shake, shake up that glitter, right? Give it a little squeeze and put some Wink of Stella on her, just to brighten her up a little bit. If you can see it, it's looking good. Okay. And so when you pull this, you not only see Happy Birthday, but you also see the bird up and down. How cute is that? It does need a little bling, I think. And so I have these. These are still in the catalog. These are called Playing with Pattern Resin Dots. So these were around last year, and we had a color called Purple Posy. Well, Purple Posy's retired. It was an in color, but we still have the Purple Posy. But I'm thinking they need to be just a little bit darker. So I'm going to take my blend marker. I'm actually going to use a little bit darker one, Dark Blackberry Bliss. And I'm going to color a few of these. So you can do this, and since it's going light to dark, you can color as many as you want. So I'm going to color a bunch of these. Okay, they dry quickly because that's the alcohol blend marker. Take your pick tool, and I'm going to start applying these to my card. So Purple Posy was an awesome color, but it's gone. So let's use these up. Okay, you could even add more. You could put them in the center of each flower if you wanted. You could add some rhinestones if you want to make it a little more glitzy. You could do anything you want. All right, so there's our card today. It's not hard. It's, in fact, so easy and so cute, and it's unlimited. Make a cute Christmas card with this idea. It's called a pull slider card. Hope you enjoyed this today, and I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye.